Bala with us now to take us through what he's making of things. He's, of course, with cashthechaos.com. Jai, good to have you with us here. Thank you for your time. You know, we speak once every week. I think we'll have to increase the frequency because interaction to interaction, we see so much in terms of moves, big moves, that levels get taken out on both sides. What's the view now, Jai, from here on, near term?
Yeah, hi Prashant, good to be here. And see, I've said in the early part of May when the markets are bouncing from 21,900 and change, I said that there's a counter-trend bounce. The counter-trend bounce, I anticipated it to clock one more high about 23,860, but it failed to do that. But you know, that's the thing with counter-trend bounces. It can end abruptly. But we had markers, you know, if the markets got rejected from 22,412 and printed 22,676, I said, you know, the counter-trend bounce has ended. But unfortunately, the markets capped down below the March low. So that wouldn't have provided opportunity for people to short. But right now, as the markets come back to that near about 22,600 odd levels, it's probably presenting another short-term shorting opportunities. But from a slightly higher time frame, if the if the markets were to hold on 21,608, it's an intraday print. You know, it doesn't have to close or close below that level. If it can hold 21,608 or above, there is a bullish potential for the market for the medium term. But you know, looking at how Reliance has broken down below March lows, Nifty metals index, Nifty auto index, Nifty IT index have broken down. I think that's a very low probability, but just to keep in mind. But I had presented three choices for three.
Jai, allow us to come in to a lot of data points over here. So just allow us to come in. You said that the zone of around 22,600 odd, it could present a decent shorting opportunity. With what sort of a target?
Yeah, I think either 21,608 holds, and so we're getting a new low below yesterday's low of 21,752. So 21,608, you know, if it holds, it's bullish. But if it doesn't hold, the March price objective that mentioned 17,800, that opens up. So the higher time frame objective of 17,800, I'm still not opening it up, but it's definitely a potential if 21,608 breaks even on an intraday basis. So you know, right now I'm watching it very closely.
21,600, that's still a very decent 1,000-point. Short play if it works out, because you're saying short around 22,600, wait for it to see what it does around 21,000, 600. So that's almost 1,000-point range. Any other individual, stock specific?
When does a short call get nullified? At what level?
Oh, good point.
Yeah, it's if 23,350 were to get taken out, that gets nullified. I think today's high is already probably it's done the corrective move. Probably it's starting to decline from today's high. Probably I don't think it's going to give another opportunity to get the markets to 22,600. Yeah, so that's the case here.
Okay, all right. If I have to guess, Jai, based on what Mr. Trump has to say, maybe by our next interaction, we'll either be at the upper end or the lower end of what you gave us, 23,350 or 21,650. Let's see how that goes. I want to hear more from you, Jai, but for the time being, we'll take that break, come back. We'll probe Jai a little bit more into what he's looking at in terms of levels on various indices. Don't go anywhere. Jai, what about the tech index? You know, it's pulled back, but you are seeing further downside even from here?
That's right, Nigel. See, the damage has been done in the medium-term charts, and there is as we have mentioned in November about the US techs possibility of clocking a long-term top. The IT index of India seems to be moving in tandem with the US tech, big techs. So, you know, in the very short term, we could see a shallow bounce to something like 39,000, maybe even close to 40,000. I mentioned this last week, you know, but the break of March low is very negative for the Nifty IT index. In a few months, I'm anticipating the Nifty IT index to, clock something like 26,000, and not a short-term move, but it's possibly post 39,000 bounce. But in the medium term, if the US techs have indeed, which it looks like, have clocked a long-term top, the Nifty IT index is also likely to go low. On a lighter note, Nigel, you mentioned Trump last time. No, there's a way to solve issues. Apparently, if you say thank you to Trump, you can probably even stop the portfolio from bleeding.
But I'm more worried about this tech index you're talking about. After such a sharp fall, you're talking about another 20% downside. Jai, I'm waiting for you, to turn bullish. Anyway, Jai, but you got a couple of stock calls for us. Tell us more.
Yeah, it's on the Tata Group. Two stocks from the Tata Group, one on each side, on the bullish side and the bearish side. Tata Consumer, I'm watching it for bearish potential. It needs to do one more higher high above 1100 and then drop back below 1045. It has to do both these steps. Before that, it's not bearish. And if it were to exceed 1100 without a rejection from 1129 to 1130, then this is an invalid setup. So wait for the stock to clock higher high to 1129 and then get rejected. Then it turns bearish. The bullish call from the Tata Group is on Voltas, probably something to do with the summer. And the stock has moved from the February lows in a 5-step move. Usually 5-step move is a trending move. If the stock can manage to hold about 1182, there is a short-term bullish potential. It's not an investment call, a very short-term bullish potential. So it's a straight call, unlike Tata Consumer.
Very quickly, what about some commodities? Crude oil, we are celebrating it fall. You don't have to fall a lot more, actually. That would mean that we're going to get into a big recession globally. But from here, from 65, where does it go? And also, if you could give us the level on the dollar index.
Yeah, right now, crude has one more lower lows to come through. It threw a curveball last week, and I mentioned in March that it needs to clock one more lower low. But when it crossed 72, it just gave us a little bit of curveball, and it's come back to lower lows. I think one more lows is due for Brent around 55 mark, and after that, it's up for evaluation. When the dollar index is probably heading somewhere close to 100. If it were to break 100, I'll anticipate somewhere like 97 to 96. Again, given the extreme volatility in the commodities and the FX market, I'll have a wait and watch. And we'd anticipated the dollar index to give up most of its gain to somewhere about 103, but it's far exceeded that level. So it's more of a wait and watch for the short to medium term. And one more commodity, copper. Copper has probably seen a buying climax. And copper is actually quite late. It gets a doctorate degree because of its ability to catch the bottom, not the top. It's been the case when 2008, 2000, and 2020.
All right. Jai, we'll chat more in markets forward. Coming back to you in a bit. Let me just quickly wrap out things.